Hey guys, it's Mr. Barnes. This is the first part of the Leisure Sports and Tourism unit, and today I'm going to talk about, in this video, Leisure 1A. So if you click on that, it'll bring you down to Leisure 1A. And Leisure 1A has you defining the terms leisure, recreation, tourism, and sport, and not only that, but discussing the difficulties in defining these terms. And so you can read the definitions for these helpful terms here on your own. If you just scroll down though, the first part of the unit, there's a TOK link from the start. And what that means is, TOK is IB's baby. It's the subject that links to all of your core courses, groups 1 through 6. And if you can make a TOK link, they're more prone to be more generous to you, I think, in the exams. And so you're better off making links to TOK than not. The key here in these definitions that you're going to want to remember is that there are overlaps that occur. And we'll talk about that right now. So for example, a lot of times when I go on vacation, I want to play golf. And so there's an example here where it says, if you go on vacation and play golf, or if you go on vacation and go swimming or skiing, those are sports, but yet at the same time you're a tourist. And so it's difficult to have mutually exclusive definitions for these terms. And you can even write that. So it's difficult, let me zoom in here, difficult to have mutually exclusive definitions. So that's pretty much the key to this subtopic. What I'd like you to do for work is I'd like you to attempt to define these terms in your own words. And that's kind of fun because we all bring our own bias to these terms. And that's also a TOK link. So the fact that we have bias also is one of the reasons why it's difficult to define these terms. And so I'd like you to try and define them on your own. And then I want you to define them from the book. And I'll tell you why. I just recently saw an exam, a sample exam. And on the exam in the Leisure Sports and Tourism section, it has you defining leisure and tourism. And since that's the case, it says where you get your marks is by, in tourism, you can write this down, in tourism, it's technically to IB, in order to be a tourist, you have to be gone for more than 1 day. Because if you're not gone for more than 1 day, you're considered a day tripper and technically not a tourist. Now, do I agree with this? Not entirely, because if I go down to Intramuros, let's say, for example, even if it's just for a day and then I come back, am I not a tourist? And so I don't really see where they're coming from, but there has to be some definition, I suppose, that IB uses, and that you'll find from the textbook. And so if that's what they want you to write down, that's what we're going to have to write down. Okay, so once you're done with that, you can scroll down here, and the document here, the packet, is asking you to draw a Venn diagram, one that you see in the book. And then so I'm going to scroll down. This Venn diagram is a good way to actually show the overlap that I talked about earlier, the TOK link overlap. So if you draw the big circle, that would be leisure. So everything sort of falls within leisure. U-R-E, yeah. Okay, within leisure then, we have 3 different aspects of leisure. Okay, and this is again that TOK link. And so this is the Venn diagram, and you can label these any way you want. I'll put sport down here, tourism over here, and recreation here. Okay, now the overlaps that occur, you can see them. I'll highlight them in red. So here's an overlap, here's an overlap, here's an overlap, and then if there's an activity that you do where all 3 things overlap, that would be right here in the middle, obviously. And so let's do the example that I gave earlier, which is golf. So I wonder if I can write real small. Okay, golf would fit in here, or skiing, because these are sports that you can do while you're on vacation. A recreational activity that you can do on vacation is hiking or climbing. Okay, and in my other classes, we tried to do we tried to fill in the Venn diagram for the individual parts of the circle. So for sport, that was one of the most difficult ones. We came up with boxing, because boxing is one of those things that you don't really do for recreation, and you don't really go on a vacation to go boxing, but it is definitely a sport. And so what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to fill in the rest of this Venn diagram with as many activities as you can possibly think of within this leisure realm that is shown here. So any recreation, any sports, any tourism that you can think of, and try and fill in as many of those parts of that Venn diagram as possible. And so this is the first part of the unit. Again, just to recap, IB wants you to define these terms and also, more importantly, discuss the difficulties in defining these terms. And the terms that I'm talking about are leisure, recreation, sport, and tourism. And the difficulties, just to do one quick review, is that all of these terms overlap. Oops, overlap. All right? And so that's the main part of the first section here in the Leisure, Sports, and Tourism unit. I hope you found this video helpful.